Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
What's a Blerd? That's a black guy who's also a nerd. Reading comics, watching anime. Haven't you heard? It's Jeremy J and Miriam talking to Delirium. Naruto, then Marvel, then DC. Are you hearing him? Pop culture reference pull them out periodically. We sync up movies with the comics canonically, and we watch a lot of TV. It's our virtual reality. I guarantee one day we'll have a TV show on NBC.
Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
It's the Blerd Survival Guide. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
That we had always been in their house and they adopted from a pet store.
Yeah.
Was like 75. Bob is still
That's
alive.
insane.
Bob is still
They had a 75-year-old turtle.
Shout
turtle.
out to Bob. He's still alive. He's still kicking.
I love a turtle.
Oh, man. Well, welcome to the Blerd Survival Guide.
What episode are we on?
We're on episode 6.
Welcome back to the 6th episode of the Blerd Survival Guide, everybody.
Hey, it's your co-host. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Jay.
And this week we are doing a unofficial, official second part.
Continuation.
To last week's episode about Falcon and Winter Soldier. This week we are focusing on the newest episode that just came out this past weekend. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. But we're about to get
we definitely
really
need to make
into
sure to include at the beginning of every one of our podcasts that it's pretty inevitable that we're going to have spoilers.
Yeah, and I mean it's considerate to let people know that.
So spoilers ahead.
Yeah. But Jay, how you doing today? Before we get started,
I appreciate it, man. I'm tired today, bro. So we went to Atlanta yesterday.
fun.
Yeah, Miriam and I went to the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, met up with her friend Mackenzie. Hi, Mackenzie. Met up with another one of Mackenzie's friends, Leah, and we all just hung out at a place called Pure Taqueria after we went to the Botanical Gardens. Played some Pokemon Go around the Botanical Gardens. There's a lot of dope stuff around there.
Word.
And saw some great flowers, and it was a good old time. But I'm tired because the just back and forth in the whole day. So, yeah, I'm tired today.
No, I understand that. I mean, and you said you went to a place called Pure Taqueria. Was the tacos anything like Texas?
No, they were good.
Without hesitation.
Sorry, not sorry. The tacos are better in Texas.
To the border, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's to be expected. But I'll tell you what was good is we went to a place for lunch called Jinya, and it was a ramen spot. It was a ramen bar in, I guess it was toward Buckhead. Yeah, toward Buckhead.
Okay.
And that place had some fire ramen, and Miriam loved the ramen, so that was a win on my part, and I got to try a different kind of ramen that I really enjoyed as well.
Nice.
So shout out to Jinya Ramen.
Jinya Ramen.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
how are you doing?
I too am tired.
Yeah.
Different reasons. I've been working.
You've been working.
Yeah. That night shift life is something else.
It messes with your sleep schedule, that's for sure.
It does, and I've gotten used to it, kinda, which is a good and bad thing. But I mean, we all get our.
Well, you put in time. You said that you were going to get that time change, right?
Yeah, we're praying that we get it, and that way we can work.
Folks, Jeremy works at Amazon.
Yeah. The packaging facility, one of the packaging facilities here in Birmingham.
You may have heard about it on the news.
Yeah. We're famous for a couple weeks. I've just been working, and hopefully this schedule change will happen, and we'll be able to work during the day shift.
I hope it will too, because I want my friend back on the weekend.
I know, I want my weekends back.
That's
with
a fact.
my friends.
That's a fact.
But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm awake now because I'm a night junkie at this point.
Yeah, you are.
So this is technically
You're a night owl?
Yeah, this is my daytime.
Fair enough.
Yay.
Well, I'm happy to be with you today.
Yeah.
What is the question that we're posing?
Well, before we get into that, I did want to start something new this week.
Oh.
The Blerd Survivalist tip.
Oh, we're doing that now.
Yeah, I was thinking we'd do that at the beginning of the episodes.
Okay.
Instead of during our usual weekly blurb. And we're going to start with our first survivalist tip from our producer, Miriam.
I need to get close to the mic.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Oh, come on,
Welcome
scoot
to
over
the-
to the mic.
Welcome to the microphone.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Miriam, everyone. Hello, I'm usually in the background. But today, first ever Blerd survivalist tip. If you haven't already, our taxes are coming up on being due. I'm pretty sure the deadline is May 15th. And my survivalist tip for you all out there into the Blerd universe is, if you haven't already, make sure to file the stimulus checks that you have not received on your taxes so that you can get them in your tax return. That will add a nice little cushion. If you have some money that you need to pay, you can use them stimmies to help pay them off, or you just have some nice money in your pocket that you didn't receive yet. So that's my tip. If you use any of the online platforms like TurboTax or
Nice.
e-file or whatever the other services are, they probably will have the question. I know for a fact TurboTax does, because I did mine through TurboTax, and I've already gotten my return with an extra stimulus check, and that sits real nice. So there's your survivalist tip for the week.
Top tier.
Get them taxes filed. And if you need help with them, just do TurboTax. It's really super easy, and it's free.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, guys.
Oh, look at that.
Keep on surviving.
Oh, man. Well, we appreciate that. TurboTax sponsor us. I'm gonna keep telling people to sponsor us until we get some sponsors, man.
It'll happen eventually.
I'm ready.
One of these things bound to hit.
Oh, yeah. But, no, definitely, I do need to do my taxes still.
Same.
If you need help, let me know. I can help.
Of course.
I finally got all the documentation that I needed together. I worked a lot of jobs this year
You
and
did.
made I did all right.
You were your own Sam Wilson. You were a contract worker.
I was.
Less fighting.
I resonate with Sam so much.
He is like the doctor said in the first Captain America. He is a good man. He's also a good soldier, but he's also a good man.
He is.
Which does bring us to today's topic. Will any self-respecting black man want to be Captain America?
You know, so I saw this question online,
Okay.
and I hate this question. I really do. I think that I just don't like it in general. It makes me feel icky.
Well, I mean, the reason is it's really that the specific wording of that question is around the internet because it's a direct quote from Isaiah Bradley in the episode.
I know.
That no self-respecting black man wants to be Captain America.
Mr. Bradley went through a lot, and
He did.
You know,
He did.
I don't blame him for his opinion.
And no, I don't either. I mean, he essentially he is Marvel Universe's
Tuskegee experiment.
exactly
basically.
the Tuskegee
Like,
syphilis
he-
experiment.
Exactly.
That's
They
which is
said,
a real
he said,
thing.
"Oh, we're getting tetanus."
Yeah, they
they
told us
thought
we
they
were
were
getting
getting tetanus
tetanus
shots, but they're getting the super soldier serum.
Yeah, and they were getting different strains of it. He was the only one who
Messed
survived.
up. It's so messed up.
It is, and I mean that's the reality of America. That's what they did to black men in America.
I mean, dude, the juxtapositions to real life, just how poignant these episodes have been. It's such a good show. It just makes for such a good show. And I've seen where people say no, and I completely disagree. I really do think that a self-respecting black man can pick up and choose the Captain America mantle, especially today.
it is. I mean, I think it's really needed. We're in a time where we need diversity to.
It
shine
addresses
through.
a need for sure.
And America may not want it, or
I mean,
the important men of America.
I need people to know that the black man is a symbol for America.
I mean, we literally built America.
Thank you. Thank you.
We literally built it.
And then people are like, okay, can Sam do it? And I'm like, Sam's the perfect person to do it.
He is
He is
the
a
modern
Southern
day,
black man.
He is a modern day Steve Rogers, and I mean I hate to make that comparison because it's a white guy and a black guy.
Okay,
but
okay.
I mean Steve Rogers.
That irks me. I'm gonna lie.
Well, Steve Rogers
Right.
showed humility. He
Right.
never claimed to be Captain America. He was
No.
he always said I'm Steve Rogers. He would say I'm Steve Rogers.
That's-
Everywhere in battle. He
and
would
John
go everywhere
Walker
that.
is
John
like,
Walker is saying
I'm
every
Captain
time,
America.
I'm Captain America. I am Captain America.
Oh, man.
Things like
I
that.
like that.
And
Sam's
Steve-
like, call me Sam.
right, and Steve is he has this way about him. And like I said, and I mean repeating myself, like the doctor said in the first Captain America movie, the first Avenger, he said anyone can be a perfect soldier, but for this serum you would need to be a perfect man, a good man.
He's explaining the serum to him. He's saying that it amplifies the good parts about you become great, the bad parts become worse. It amplifies everything about you. So being a good man is the foundational element.
Right, and that's one of the main reasons that Steve took the serum is because he wanted to be a good man. He is a good man. He knew he was a good man. He didn't want to take it to be this experiment to go fight in war. Well, I mean, he wanted to go fight in war, but he didn't want it strictly to fight in war.
But he didn't do it out of the need to be a soldier. He did it out of a sense of duty to his fellow man.
Exactly.
Like, because he's like, in the first Avenger, he's like, there are men laying down their lives. I ain't got no right to do anything less. Right? Like, he recognized his sense of duty in that.
Right. And I mean, that's where it kind of parallels with Sam. And Sam being the modern day Captain America, he also shows humility. He has a sense of humanity with everybody. He's very empathetic with him being the counselor with the veterans counselor.
I resonate with that.
Right. And I mean, there was a TikTok I saw with him showing his basically his social work job. Yeah, his social work ability.
So you see it.
His body action when he was talking with Carly in the last episode.
Right.
You saw that he was not trying to. He never faced Carly in a way that like he would be prepared for battle. The thing is he had his back to Carly, talking to Carly, saying, hey, if I wanted to fight you, I would stand in a way that I'll be ready to fight you. But I'm sitting down, back turned, my back is to you, and I'm talking from my back so that way you can feel a sense of safety and we can just talk. That's all he wanted to do until John Walker came in and be like, hey, you're under arrest, blah, blah, blah. But that also resonated well with me, that like it shows Sam is the perfect Captain America because he has that ability he can talk someone down.
100%,
and he almost did. Like Carly was having he was able to have the conversation with Carly.
So my question now is like, why do people think that a self-respecting black man can't? Because my thing is like, yes, I understand that the black man has been the disenfranchised person in America, right? Like, I get that. And I get that. But, like, why is it a bad thing for that person to still want to serve the country or the people of this world?
I guess, and if I had to think, if I were in Isaiah Bradley's shoes, it would be one of those, why should I, even though I already did, why should I give so much to my country when they didn't want to give anything to me?
I mean,
and not even give anything to me, but like,
and we see that like in our reality, right? Like just in other ways, like people refusing to participate in a democracy, people refusing to work for their community. They come from a very selfish place. No one is my brother. Like that, I'm certainly not my brother's keeper.
Right, and that's how Isaiah Bradley was thinking with America. It's like, I'm not my country's keeper, and I believe there's a lot of people who think like that.
And everyone is entitled to their opinion, but it still makes me feel sad.
It does, and I mean, it's going to take time for America to be accepting of everybody.
Yeah, but I think you have to because, like, FYI, Captain America is my favorite Marvel hero.
Okay.
Has been since the beginning. I admire his sense of duty. I admire his like drive to be the best version of himself. I admire the fact that he acknowledges his fallacies while also always trying to be a leader and trying to like overcome them.
Right.
Man, I just can't get it out of my head that Sam's like the perfect person for it.
He really is, and I completely agree with you. I just have to speak on the opposing side.
Oh, I'm glad
of how other people may think of why this can't be.
Well, you have to, because I mean, otherwise you won't be able to have a conversation.
Otherwise, there isn't a conversation,
and that's what you want,
right? And I mean, that's the thing, and that's the thing with this whole show is trying to get at is like there needs to be a conversation.
Boy,
period.
And this conversation that freaking him and Bucky have. Right,
especially when they're talking, like when they're in his backyard.
Yeah, in his backyard, man,
with the shield.
I mean, like in this last episode, like you really get it's like a montage for like rest and emotional development.
Yeah,
you know, and like it's happening now versus whatever the heck John Walker's doing, like just poisoning his mind, poisoning the minds of other people. Just being toxic, as he is,
and I mean,
he is. But like you see on the other side of like what healing actually is, and like the inevitable coming together of Bucky and Sam to talk.
Yeah.
Also, not the Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
no, but Bucky and
Sam to come together and talk.
Right.
And Bucky says he didn't understand what it meant for a black man to pick up the mantle.
That made me fall in love with Bucky even more because, and I mean, that just shows. there's a lot of white people that's like, no, I don't see race, but usually that comes with a but after the fact.
Yeah,
Whereas he and Steve, they literally both of them agreed because and that's one thing that you didn't see like in Avengers Endgame, because he said when we talked about this, and that was back in Endgame, which means that, like, Bucky knew what Steve was doing when he went back to 1940 whatever to dance with Peggy again.
But he didn't talk to Sam. Sam didn't know.
Right.
And when one of them knows and one of them doesn't, they didn't think about it, man. They didn't think about what it meant, and he just kind of just threw it to him.
And it's partially because
and I think that's such a commentary, man. It's such a commentary.
It's partially because Steve and Bucky didn't grow up with racism tension.
No,
because you had Steve, who literally was in ICE for 70 years, so he missed all the big segregational stuff.
He missed a lot. Yeah, he really. He missed Jim Crow. He missed people coming back from World War II and like facing that racism, like continuous, like Vietnam, like all these like. And really, he wasn't even. He was accepting of everybody in the first.
Yeah, because you had the Howling Commandos,
but he's like that friend that says, "I don't see color."
Yeah, he is, and
he's a great guy.
But he doesn't, and that's one thing. He's one of those that like you can actually he embodies that. He doesn't have to say that because he actually embodies it. Which those are the kind of friends that I like.
Right.
But like I said, that's opposing to different people. Where like John Walker, he will actually say, "Oh no, I don't see color," and like he has Lamar as his best friend and stuff like that. He has to cover up the fact that he is probably undercover racist.
He has to.
Let me ask you guys this question.
Yeah.
So let's do a little bit of predicting.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if, in light of this conversation and everything that's gone on, Marvel chooses to make Captain America another white guy?
I'd be mad. Especially like after this whole show, and they decide to, right? There's nobody else unless they somehow decide to make Bucky Captain America, which has happened,
man. I don't want to say I'd be mad, but I feel like I would be deceived. That's for dang sure.
Oh yeah, after this whole thing, I wouldn't have a problem with it if it was Bucky, but if it was anybody else other than Bucky,
obviously it'd have to make sense, right? Let me make it make sense for the plot line.
Or if Sam turned it down.
That would be his second time.
I don't know.
I would be disappointed in Sam because he already turned it down.
But he's training and he's looking like he's picking up the mantle. Just for logical sense, that would piss me off. For that sense, in that sense, it wouldn't be like a race thing or anything like that for me. But like, if we're doing things different, if we're trying to genuinely elevate people, in particular people of color, you have to make Sam Captain America.
And going off of not comic book continuity, but that's what they're kind of doing. The New Avengers, he is Captain America, but there's also comic book story runs where Bucky's Captain America. They've shown it in the movies, him holding the shield, even him with his vibranium arm. Like he has been Captain America. It's like I said, I would be disappointed if he did turn it down. I'd be disappointed if it was another white guy that wasn't Bucky. Like, the only two people that I can see picking up that shield and representing Captain America the way it needs to be is Sam or Bucky. Yeah. Nobody else. If they were to do something like that again.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made Bucky Captain America. I would not. And that's kind of like, people being excited for a lot of the reasons why Kamala Harris is like the vice president, right? Like, it's like, we're almost there.
taking those little steps. Taking those little steps, man. No, that's true though. It's like a lot of people, and that goes kind of back to like the initial election before Trump got elected. Yeah, where like we were all getting excited because Hillary.
Right.
Was almost president.
Right. And then woman president. And before that, Bush, like people were really were stoked on Condoleezza Rice being the first black woman to be Secretary of State. It's like we're almost there. Like, why can't we be there?
Right. We're always at that last step.
Yeah,
and then we take a couple steps back, and it's like,
and then it's just like flatline, like kill all momentum, and then there. So like right now, I'm saying there's the opportunity to be there.
And that's America. Two steps forward, 15 steps back.
Marvel, if you're listening, be the leader.
I think they've been listening though.
Like people talk about Disney. People talk. This show. No one expected this show to be this.
No.
On Disney.
That's true. On Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus.
And like Beyonce had her thing on Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just Beyonce
The
being
color of
Beyonce with
friendship
money.
exists.
Color of Friendship precedes all of it. And it is one of the greatest not cartoons, Disney Channel original movies and most just underrated things. But like, I mean, he said verbatim, I didn't know what it was going to be like for a black man to pick up the mantle of Captain America. And
that carries some weight.
That hits.
It does.
That freaking hits. That script writing, like you just poignantly said it.
Yeah.
And that's like saying, I didn't know what it was like for you to be a black man in America. Hey,
I mean,
thank you. Like, I'm like, holy crap, thank you. We can finally talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's that. I mean, all of my friends of the non-color description, that's a conversation that we all need to have. And I mean, it may be uncomfortable, but it needs to be talked about. Period.
I have friends that I want to have these conversations with, and it makes me scared. And I am fearful of them because I don't want to lose their friendship.
True. And I mean, that's
because at the end of the day, I do love them, and I do think of them as good people. I mean, majoritively, but sometimes like I worry, and I think that I worry about, like, you know, some of the subtle things that people will say.
Right. That tends to happen when you do have those kind of conversations. And I mean,
Yeah.
you lose some friends, you have an even closer bond with other friends.
But
It really depends on the person, but also, I mean, like I said, these are always going to be tough
I
conversations.
completely agree with what
It's
you're saying.
probably one of the toughest conversations you can have with you and I are able to have this conversation easily because we're two black men. That's plain and simple.
Yeah, we have that in common, and we have very similar shared experiences.
Exactly.
You know, it's just like, I just want to, ultimately, you just kind of have to start it. And someone has to be the person to bring it up.
Yeah.
It starts somewhere, and when it's represented, it's easier to have the dialogue.
You know, yeah.
And when it's visibly there in our pop culture ongoing, it's much easier to
You know, like,
involve friends in those conversations.
those feelings that I get though when I'm like, hey, have you seen this? And someone is like, no. For some reason, I don't know about y'all, but I just get like a little bit hurt.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like, I mean,
get a
that's
little-
me,
and I
that's
mean,
me as a
like-
comic book person in general. Like, if
It's weird. Like, I don't want to be hurt though, but like it hurt.
I'm saying no, like
it's so small.
Especially when it's on a platform that, like,
it's easy
everybody
accessible
has.
and
Yeah.
not
I
expensive.
mean, like, I'm not trying to say that everyone's can afford it, because
Sure.
that's their
That's a
thing.
whole nother conversation.
Well, at
But,
least
like,
in your circle, you
You have friends who have friends who can do that.
It's, I mean, like,
We're not saying that you should share passwords, but ...
What you choose to do is what you choose to do. We at the Blerd Survival Guide do not condone any of those activities.
Thank you.
However,
But no,
Get it where
it's
you can fit in.
exactly. But no, it's like Miriam said, we have the pop culture references, we have the TV shows now that you can say that. And like you said, I would be sad if, like, you know, me being the comic book person I am, it's like, hey, have you seen this movie? And they say no. It's just like a little part of me just broke. Like, you really can't just.
I mean, there's so many poignant things out there these days, like, just to educate people, and like, it's not even boring.
No, it's not. It's not.
You know, like, it's not. It resonates, and it's art, and it's exciting and entertaining, and it teaches.
It's just a lot that we have nowadays that we can just help.
You know, like, there's so many people that learn in so many different ways. You know, you think that, you know, people would get it.
Yeah, and yeah, that's about all I can say with that. We are running out of time, unfortunately.
I feel fortunate and grateful to actually have gotten to share my piece on this, because this is something that has been, like, weighing on me, and I feel grateful for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier for really opening it up and, like, having the platform to do it.
Oh yeah, and it definitely, like, I'm happy that we are able to have this conversation, that it allows us to have this conversation, not just with each other, but with all of our listeners. With
And I really hope
our
that people
friends.
will, like, interact with us on our social media, because, like, honestly, I want to talk to people about this.
Yeah, and we can talk about it. We can do Instagram lives, we can do Facebook lives, posts, anything like that. Literally, just follow us at all of our stuff.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Right. We will be back in a couple of minutes. Just hear a word from our sponsor, Anchor, and we will come back with our weekly blurb. Hey guys, it's Jeremy here to talk to you about Anchor, the free podcast tool that you all need. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, like I said, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer or your phone. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So guys, go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm on your computer to get started.
Welcome back, everybody.
You know what time it is? It's time for the
Weekly Blerd. And Jay with the first news and go. Not like transitioning out of anything that's less serious, because it's not.
Right.
Which we'll lighten it up a little bit later, and I guess in your segment, but still poignant and relevant. I've been keeping up with the trial of Derek Chauvin, and simultaneous to that, like the killing of Deontay Wright, and man, I'm so damn tired. But the good news about the trial of Derek Chauvin is the defense was short. He pled the fifth, didn't even choose to talk, and in comparison to everything that the prosecution compared, I mean, there's no way that he's found not guilty, man. It's just like, if he's not, I'm very scared for what America will do, but I'm also like, once again, like, I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
We've seen. It occurs to me that only the wealthy are able to escape the long arm of the law, despite their criminal acts, and then obviously white cops. So we'll see what happens. I send my thoughts and just like best wishes to Derek Chauvin's family, Derek Chauvin's family, because they're having to go through this, but also George Floyd's family and Deontay Wright's family, because dear God, like, once again, like, we're just in a state of unrest and just very challenging feelings and emotions come up during these kinds of events, and I just hope that for those that are feeling the effects of this trial and these terrible, terrible tragedies, I hope that y'all are finding some kind of happiness and some kind of rest and respite while paying close attention and seeing where the state of the world is in regard to these matters. Because that's really what it is. It's just like, are things changing? And you're just kind of watching and waiting to see if things are changing, and that in itself is exhausting. So truly, I just hope that people are going to be able to find time to care for themselves in ways that they think are best for them,
and care for each other,
and then care for each other, because like, you can't do this alone. And I'm very fortunate to have the circle of people that I have that keep me uplifted during these times. But I just I wanted to take a moment to let the folks that are going through this know that they are not alone, because these things are trying, they are challenging, and they weigh a heavy toll, as you so eloquently put earlier. Like, these conversations weigh heavy, and these times really weigh heavy. So that is my time, and I'm gonna swing it back to you, buddy.
Woo! Everybody take a quick inhale, exhale. This has been a heavy episode this week, a very weighted episode. To move on to a little lighter topic, my weekly blurb is this relatively new comic book. It's called,
excited for new comic books.
Oh yeah, it's called Tuskegee Heirs, spelled Heirs. It's
like they're the heirs to the throne.
Oh yeah, the heirs to the throne, the heirs to the original Tuskegee Airmen.
Oh,
these are descendants of Tuskegee Airmen.
What?
I read it on our way to Texas, and I have the first 4 copies.
Man, you had a smile on your face, like pretty much like the whole time while you were reading
it.
this.
I mean, the story's by Marcus Williams and Greg Burnham.
Where are they from? Are they from Alabama?
I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do that much research on it yet, but I do want to get in contact with them.
I just wanted to know.
Yeah, I mean, one would think.
I mean, like you gotta have. You might think that they got roots, but also that story is.
The story. I mean, it's
like a universal story, which is.
It is, but I mean, keep it home.
Right.
But no, the story it's set in the future, about 100 years. But these are descendants of the original Tuskegee Airmen. They're kids, actually. They're around, I would say, 16, 17 years old.
So it's set future from now, or future from Tuskegee?
From now.
Yeah.
I would say, like, the year, like, 2200?
So, like, 200 years in the future?
Yeah. But they, essentially, the heirs are outlaws.
Okay.
They are, because flying, not flying commercial, is basically illegal. You can't fly on your own plane.
Okay.
It's almost one of those kind of deals.
Okay.
And they're based in Tuskegee, Alabama.
Cool.
The set and the building and everything, but they basically travel the world. They are saving the day. It's almost like an all black Avengers kind of.
So you said they're outlaws. So do they fly people like from location to location?
So right now, the first 4 issues, we got to know them.
All right, so the first 4 issues are all that are out right now.
Yeah, the first 4 issues are that out right now. But they, essentially, they're kids. They came. Well, there are 4 kids that have already been working together prior to the first issue, and the fifth guy comes in, and he's supposed to be this like flying savant.
Okay.
Like he already knew how to he knew how to like fly these older planes through a virtual simulation.
Oh, dope.
And he actually got to because of that training. It was almost like. It's almost like one of those, like, if you play a video game, it's those video games that, like, train the military or something like that. And, like,
It was a simulator.
If you get the high score, it's like, hey, we're going to automatically put you in the military to be this certain person and stuff like that.
It's like, okay, so it's futuristic in that way. Too.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you.
And he was basically, and that's the thing, he was able to do all these things in the planes on that simulation that were, like...
Dopest dude on a simulator, so let's put him in a plane and see what he can do.
And the thing is, like, he was hella smart, and so he cut the time for, like, a lot of the things that was supposed to take, like, 5 minutes, he would cut it into, like, 3 minutes. And then these planes now with like some of these missions, they had replicas of the original planes that the Tuskegee Airmen flew.
Okay.
But for these certain missions, for these newer missions, they were given from this senator. They were given this new plane, and I'm not going to tell the whole story because you guys need to read this comic. But she gives them these new planes that are essentially like transform into like those robots that, like in Japan.
So it's like a Gundam.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
They're all like Gundam robots, and it's like Avengers meets like Gundam robots.
Man, this thing.
You got
I haven't read it, and like you were telling me about it, I'm gonna have to read these comics.
I'm gonna let Jay borrow the comic, but no, you guys need to check it out. It's called Tuskegee Heirs: Flames of Destiny. Like I said, heirs is spelled Heirs. Tuskegee, how you spell it in Tuskegee, Alabama.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked on these comics.
You
picked these up.
I did not pick these up.
We saw them though, didn't we?
We saw these. I saw these on Facebook.
Okay.
I shared it. I was like, someone get these for me for my birthday. Thank you, Mama. She got these for me for my birthday.
Oh yeah. Didn't we see them at Comic-Con?
No, what we saw was Black Sands, and that's. I'll save that for another week.
That's another week. That's another week.
Because I do want to get in contact with him, and I want to get into contact with the guys from Black Sands as well as Marcus Williams and Greg Burnham. See if we can either get them on the show or see.
Do they have social media? Because we need to tag them.
Yeah, no, we can. I'm gonna tag them in social media once I post the stuff about the episode.
Heck yeah.
But no, like I said, check it out. It's only 4 issues right now. I'm waiting for that 5th issue. And keep you guys updated. Other than that, that was my time. That is our time for the show. Remember to give us a like, follow, and
share the episode.
We are on all platforms. Instagram at Blerd Survival Guide, Twitter at Blerd Guide, Facebook Blerd Survival Guide, and you can email us at blerdsurvivalguide@gmail.com if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. We are looking to start answering questions from fans. We almost have about 65. We have about 65 followers on Instagram. And on our Facebook page, we actually are at 75 followers. And I mean, if we can get to 100 followers, we can probably do something special for you guys.
I'd like to do something special for 100 followers.
Exactly. So, I mean, more followers, more listeners, and
we love you guys.
We love you guys so much. Other than that, you guys keep surviving.
Keep surviving, everybody.
Woo! Listen to the theme song again.
Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
It's the Blerd Survival Guide. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.